Well, welcome. You are watching Tales from the Deep North with the Scally Line. That's me,
That's
Tim,
me,
and
Fred Keller.
Fred.
Good to see you again. This is issue number 3. Woohoo! I'm talking about the Civil War today. Yeah, you ever see that Ken Burns series?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the Queen's Gambit. Everybody got into the Civil War when that came out, as opposed to chess. But I did, I know, and I actually wound up running out and buying the Shelby Foote series. Each book is like 4 inches thick, but it's amazing. Read it if you ever get a chance. It's some of the best history. It's just like listening to stories, and if you can hear his southern drawl behind it, it's awesome. I've got a small collection of Civil War books that I've assembled over the years, a couple of cool old ones. Do you ever do any reading on that?
Oh, yeah.
In any of the battlefields?
No, I haven't. But the thing, like you were saying, it's the stories about the actual people that make it interesting. When you hear about the Civil War in school, so many times it's like, here's this battle, and
Right.
this many soldiers died, and here's this general, and it's kind of, you kind of get lost in the numbers and the figures, but then when you start hearing these really human stories about the people that were actually there,
Right.
it brings it to life in a totally different way, because you're like, oh, these people are not so different from me.
It was one of the most literate wars ever fought, and what I mean by that is most of the soldiers could write and did. And in fact, that brings us to our story today. Here's a book that I got called My Dear Wife and Children. The fellow who compiled it, Nick Adams, I met him at Fort Snelling. It was a Civil War event that I attended, and he was there. He's about 6'3", big, tall guy wearing a coat and tails, completely dressed in period costume, and he was selling these. And it was his great-great-grandfather fought in the 2nd Minnesota Regiment and wrote letters home. 100, and I think there are 101 of them. It's an amazing book. I highly recommend it. You can still get it at the History Center. Nick Adams, My Dear Wife and Children. And the beauty of this book is that it is written by a soldier about soldier things, not fighting, but everyday life in camp. His name was David Griffin. His wife was Minerva, because they named people after Greek goddesses back then. He had moved recently to Fairmont, Minnesota, which is way down south central Minnesota, and had been farming when the call came for volunteers. He ran as fast as he could up to Fort Snelling, but there were no trains in Minnesota back then, so he was a little too late to get involved with the 1st Minnesota. He became part of the 2nd Minnesota Regiment and served in the Western Army under Grant and other generals. So this is, I didn't really have to write this. I mean, I really just selected some of the letters. You see some of my bookmarks are still there. And the cool thing is each one starts off with, My Dear Wife and Children. That's how he headed every one of his letters home. So I put them in a bit of an order, in a chronological order, and, well, yeah, let's do the song. What do you suppose?
Yeah.
All right. September of 1861. My dear wife and children, just a few lines. How I weep to see us with our brand new guns. The children just a few lines. How you laugh to see your father dear. I cook and do the laundry while you warm and tend the babies. Will you know me if I'm gone another year? So kiss the baby's mouth and say one for your own, and write as often as you can. A soldier I was holding when 6 months old, and we will be a family once the family belongs. July of 1863. My dear wife and children, just a few lines. Well, slaves live lives too awful to recite. I'm not for ambition, but this poison of oppression we feel our sacred duty thus to fight. So kiss the baby's nerve and say one for your own, and write as often as you can. A soldier I was holding when 6 months old, and we a family once, a family once September of 1863. My dear wife and children, just a few lines. We move up to the front tonight. The longer we're apart, the stronger grows my heart. These cords of love, they bind us so, so tight. So kiss the baby's nerve and say one for your own, and write to me as often as you can. A soldier I was holding when 6 months old, and we a family once again, once again. October of 1863. Mrs. Griffin is my painful duty. That Chickamauga Creek, they laid him low. Oh, none that knew him but came to love him, and he never turned his back upon the foe. So kiss the baby's hair and say one more, and write to me as often as you can. A soldier I was holding when 6 months old, and we will be a family once, a family once. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Fred Keller
Tim Cheesebrow.
with the Scally Line. See you next time.